So yes, this lesson feels very special for both of us. It is kind of the last lesson we're gonna have. Maybe we will have in the future, but this is a lesson to map out in the most clear way all the steps that you will take with your new piece, which we have already chosen by your requirement in the school, which is going to be the Vakalis by Rachmaninoff, arranged for piano solo by Zoltan Kočiš. To be honest, this is a very quite an advanced level of the piece. We're skipping a lot of grades here, but since you need it, I'm gonna just jump into it right away. Also, it's a good way to see how the piano roll system works in a really advanced piece, because I mean, like, I don't want to give you something simple because you wouldn't feel the difference. You can play something simple. The problem is how to approach in a short time something challenging and feel comfortable and free. So this is where we're going to start. Anyway, we're probably going to have a diary that you will follow with the practice plan that we're going to discuss about today. So let's map out right away the stages of practicing a new piece when you take it from scratch. What are the stages? How much time it will take to fully prepare the piece for a successful performance?
Mm-hmm. Well, generally we have 3 main stages of learning new piece.
Mm-hmm.
The first stage, a large stage, is called analysis stage. The second is called learning stage. And the last stage is called performance practice stage.
So if we talk about 3 pages of a more slow piece and about 5 pages for faster piece, something around 3 maximum 5 minutes. All right, so let's put it in the context. Okay, so for analysis stage about a week, and for learning stage and reading stage, we'll talk about it, it's also about a week, and then performance practice stage 2 weeks. So for all 3 stages it takes us 1 month. After that, additionally, there is another big stage which is called rehearsal stage. This is where you just playing your piece in different venues, you know, to prepare for a really important performance. So
it approximately takes you a month to rehearse.
All right. So to finish the piece from scratch, this is so important because it causes so much anxiety. Like the most trauma I had in my life is because I was giving a deadline, but I didn't know if I can make the piece by that deadline or not. Because from my experience, even if I had sometimes a year, I still wasn't able to prepare the piece. And so you're giving this, you know, it's April and you need to play something in June. You have no idea how many pieces you can prepare, to which state, to which degree of perfection you can play and freedom you can play those pieces. This causes so much anxiety that you cannot control your own time of preparing the piece, that you simply don't know the stages. It's a kind of like a vague idea that, yeah, well, I have to sight read it and then just repeat it and then just make sure that I work on some technical difficult fragments. And then I have to show to my professor, which is gonna fix everything, but wait, in the past it didn't work, so it's probably not even gonna work. And then I already feel that I'm not gonna be ready to play, so no, I don't wanna play, but I have to play. Oh my god, I feel so much pressure. So that causes lots of trauma. And actually the reason why, I think the main reason why so so few concerts pianists coming from. Every year there are millions of students graduated from conservatories in the world. And why only few of them actually playing? Most of them just settle for private teaching. Because they have this trauma, they know they can't. They can't even think about that zone. It's like almost, they are lucky kids, you know, they are there somehow, but I'm not one of them. And so I didn't get that lottery ticket, so I'll just create my best with what I can do. I mean, it's horrible what this trauma in the past can do, only because you never experienced that satisfaction and empowerment from knowing that you know how many steps you take for you with your hard work to prepare a piece and to play feeling amazingly on stage. Just from that little thing, the whole life of people just goes down. Moreover, because we spend so much time with practicing, and when we don't get a result, might affect our self-esteem. So at the end of the day, you just think you don't deserve. You cannot be there because you're not good enough. So it starts affecting our personality, which again in turns manifests in our life. So this simple thing, just knowing the steps of how to prepare the piece, can affect your entire life. I can talk about this forever, I mean. But of course, I should mention that knowing those steps clear and having experience of going through those steps and know that you can complete those steps. You know, it's not just theoretically on the sticky notes on your wall and you're like, I'm gonna do that. And then you go into that and actually you can't. That's why we have this whole piano wheel system, so you can go through those stages. Guaranteed, with your hard work. And that's the difference, because before we put so much hard work and there was zero result. And we hate ourselves for that. And we put that, child who works so hard in this, dusty room, we close the door and we say, I don't want to see you. You cause me so much pain. I don't want to see you. I'll do something else. I go teach. I don't know. Do what I can. So, anyway. I'm going big here because this is big,
I feel your pain.
This is big, and I want everyone to experience the brilliance of this, the brilliance of feeling empowered by knowing that all you need is just your hard work. You don't need to be genius, you don't need to be lucky. You just need to work hard, and you get it. So.
Well, the whole point of the system, of the order, is in the first place. It was said that anxiety comes out from not knowing, from uncertainty, and the foundation of the fear is unknown, and the most great medicine from fear is to learn and to know. So, and when you know exactly what it is, then you feel stable. Maybe right away the question, a little bit technical, maybe a little early to ask, but we are talking about piece of 3 or 5 pages. But what if we play chamber music that requires rehearsal with a partner, maybe, or if we play large pieces like I don't know, Franz Liszt Sonata, for example.
So, for example, I can address that. In conservatory, while still researching for my system, I had to prepare lots of repertoire for chamber music, for playing with a vocalist, and it was like one day for one piece. And what do we do? I decided to just stick with the most important elements that would make me feel the most stable when I play. I would suggest to never skip fingering, position change notes, and just really efficient movements, hand and elbows, and sound texture imagination. This is the basis. So anything that is from book 1. Intonation, weight, articulation, sound texture, recent elbow motion, fingering, position change notes. I went backwards. And the pedal. It's important that it is written in the score, that you don't even have a second guess about it when you have to focus on something more important. And the learning stage. That's all. And it would take me maybe 2-3 hours and I'm ready. I would skip everything else. Oh no, self-confidence and posture. So I'm taking the very first and the very last. And I skip everything in between.
And those things that you skip, you can...
it is not
you can
important.
let yourself...
if it comes naturally, and actually the better skilled you are, the more experience you have, the more natural it will come, even in your sight reading. I sight read and I already have all the efficient movements. It might come naturally to you, dynamics, phrasing especially, but...
So even phrasing, you don't mark phrasing, you decide to...
Maybe I would just kind of try to go with motif. I wouldn't go even further than that. What is important is that when you play in chamber music with someone else, you're actually listening to that person. And you start singing in consonant. And it is more important than having your own idea about phrasing and form.
So yeah, when you play together with somebody, you let the space for creativity for both, for you and your partner, and you just make a foundation of very basic things like sound texture, position changes, and etc. And the rest is your collective creativity.
It's kind of, let's see what's gonna come through, but as a team.
Yeah.
What about list?
What about list? Yes.
So if I know that for a medium level piece of 3-5 pages, it takes me a month, then I simply go and I count how many pages are in a list sonata, let's say. And let's say there are 80 pages. So now I can know. I have calendar, I have my practice plan, and I have approximate time for each page. So I know how much time it will take me. So I will never say, if someone asks me, oh, it's summer, would you play sonata, this sonata by the new year? In the past I'll be like, okay, there's such a big gap of months, like I don't even know how many months they are, I don't even feel them, so probably I'll be ready. But instead I'm looking at my plan, I calculate the pages, and I know that safely and securely and with no anxiety or pressure, I will prepare this sonata only in 12 months. And that's what I say. I say, no, I cannot prepare it by the new year, but I have other pieces that I can. So you don't create these unrealistic expectations, which also create this pressure and anxiety on yourself. I just take analyzing and learning stage, right? And I put it on each page. So it's basically, let's say, 2 weeks for every 5 pages. Again, it also depends how much time you have. If you know you're going to be busy with other things, you have to keep 2 other big programs in your hands and sight read at the same time. And maybe if you're, studying at school, you have to do this and that. You know that you will probably have maybe 1 hour. It also goes into calculation. 1 hour versus my days are free and I can spend 6 hours every day. It's also a different calculation here. But we also know that approximately it takes 2 hours when you're skilled for each of the days. So, yeah.
I understand. So we are finding the safe time, the maximum, not our best, but when we can relax and stroll without
Perfect.
rushing.
When you never lose your inner power.
Mhm.
And knowing that you can, at some degree, control and predict something for your future.
Well, staying a little bit within your comfort zone while you're studying. Yes, I like that. This is healthy.
It is. Yeah. And that's why I actually, if you look at my repertoire, I don't have big pieces there. Because I just know that I'm not gonna fantasize. I cannot fantasize on finishing a beautiful Rachmaninoff sonata in 3 months. I'm sorry, I can't. Because I know how many pages are there. And I know how much hours it will take me. And I want the result. I want to play the piece in 2 weeks. Yeah. It's just I know for which journey I have to be prepared. So unless it's a requirement for something that is bigger that I'm really desire to achieve, I don't think I would. Maybe I would learn like one movement during the year, just kind of lazily, just because I like the music. But no.
I understand your priority. So you seek for quality and a real state of freedom and the unbelievable feeling of magic, like everything is at ease, you play, and this
I talk about pleasure and
Yeah.
joy instead of fear and trauma.
because when you hear of, you know, some celebs, you know, and you hear they give 300s of concert in the year, and they can learn new concerto by Prokofiev for while riding their jet, and so this is like a business, but not like a true seeking for spirituality, maybe, and pleasure in finding your own love.
I say this. I also felt that way until I didn't. We always strive for reaching more. So let's say you have achieved a place where you can safely learn a piece in 1 month. And what's next? You don't want to repeat the same experience. You want more. And so the more could be, well, I want to perform more. I want to learn piece faster. I want to enlarge my repertoire and learn another repertoire. 1 repertoire is not enough. I want to have 10. And because in every stepping stone, you always achieve a feeling that you can, you want to get more because you know you can. It gets you more and more power. So I think those people who have those 300 concerts, they do it because, again, they are ready. They were stepping stones. They didn't start like you started and then they just jumped and started doing that. That would be too much. It's so much pressure. But they had their stages. And at which stage they accomplished and they felt successful. So they wanted more. They went to a more complicated, the more difficult stage. And again, they got it. I want more. It's a game when you know how to play. So I don't think it's super unhealthy maybe for your body, but again, then you start exercising and learn how to get more energy in your body. It's all about more and more. So let's recap. Okay, for 35 pages piece, about 35 minutes, we need 1 month to feel that we can perform it in front of a small group of people freely and confidently, and we need another month for improving that feeling and increasing the audience and just to feel more and more confident. All right. And what I wanted to ask next is, can you just quickly tell me what are the main key points for each of the stages, for analyzing stage, for learning stage, reading stage maybe, for performance practice stage?